event, and then for a while, and come back.
Well, I thought about you. I thought, typical track meet type weather.
Yes.
Same thing. If they're going to have a golf tournament, it's the same way. The weather's just horrible. If they're going to have like a high school golf tournament, same
Bone marrow transplant.
horrible weekend.
Takes that much isolation.
Yes,
I don't know how those
Last 4 people I know that have had that.
I don't know. I remember kids. It was cold. It was cold as people.
I was bundled
Then
up.
bone marrow transplant.
And still cold. Because you weren't moving. You weren't hyped up with adrenaline and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's right. But does she have any more events this year?
That's done.
That closes that off. Okay.
Yeah,
How many people did you apply for that scholarship this year?
5.
And how many scholarships are you going to give all 5 of them? Good. Excellent. There's enough.
So that turned out
Good. There's enough for everyone to get one.
That guidance counselor, she didn't give us dates for anything. As a matter of fact, I contacted her this year to make sure that she knew about the scholarship. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I would think there would be quite a few. That's kind of a nice little cash scholarship. Nothing to like sniff and sneeze at.
Yeah, for sure. So
Did your son get one again this year?
he did. He did. But
People
last year,
whole wall in a bit down there around.
yeah,
Might be a
it was,
good idea.
they did what you guys did.
Something
they
we
just
look at,
divided
'cause
equally among all of them.
Even those tables are.
Does he have one more year at Shadman or 2?
He's actually going to have to because he's adding a second major. So he would graduate this year, but he's going to do 2 more so he can get his teaching certificate.
Okay, he's not going for a master's degree. He's just going for a teacher's certificate.
Yes, he's going to have the sports and rec and nutrition as his one major, and then he'll have the teaching onto it. Yeah.
That's kind of a good backup as a possibility for employment.
And he'd like to
You get in the corner, you at least.
teach and do PE and health and
Yeah, good.
coach. Oh my goodness, at the track meet with the Glen Rapido boys that were there, the professors, they see him and just come running. He's so good with kids, and so he really should teach.
You should work with kids.
Men and
Yep. That's definitely his calling, to get out there and help
yes,
kids.
oh yeah, he just loves it.
But what about your daughter? Does she have any plans after high school time?
She'll go to school, she just isn't sure what for yet. Yeah.
Does she want to go to Shadman still, or she wants to?
No, I don't know. I don't think she really knows yet.
It's an awful hard decision to make
It
when
is.
you're 17 or 18.
It sure is. So we'll just see what next year brings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She may suddenly be inspired with something, and then, boing, she's going to
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Roy's not here. I can spread out. Let's see. Is this the line booth? I can start spreading out that line.
At least, yes.
I'm going to push the envelope and get it down here as far as I can. Poor Roy.
Going to go ahead and call this meeting in order. Would you rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us? Do we have any additions or deletions? Okay. I'd ask for a motion to approve the May 9th, 2022 council meeting and the May 11th, 2022 budget work session.
I move we approve the May 9th council meeting and the May 11th budget session.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Reports, Councilman Moulton.
I have none at this time, thank you.
Councilwoman Nunn? Pardon me, Councilwoman Font. Did you see the look?
I have nothing.
Councilwoman Nunn.
Yes, sir. On May 14th, I walked through that youth program sponsored by the Wyoming Game and Fish, offered to 7th grade students in Glen Rock. The South Recreation area was a perfect setting for this program, complete with a stream. The Game and Fish had 5 hands-on stations set up with excellent individual work materials for the students to use. The stations include a forensic station, an aquatic station, a fish lure making station, archery using compound bows, and target shooting with air rifles. Thanks to the fire department for cooking hamburgers for lunch, to the school for breakfast in a bag, and especially to the Game and Fish personnel, both from our local area and from around the state, for providing this organized educational activity. And there's also an excellent review of this in the paper with some really great pictures. It was really a nice event. Solid Waste District, lots happening out there. Reviewed bids for some equipment replacement, and we will be purchasing from CAT 2 new pieces of equipment. One which will have the capacity to mulch the wood pile and other greens. Hiring mulching is very expensive and it's difficult to even get someone on the site. This equipment should pay for itself in 3 to 5 years, depending on how many bad spring and fall snowstorms we have that break tree branches. Awarded the bid for drop station construction. $169,000 was allowed for this project. The winning bid was for $165,000. The plan is to have this part of the closure of the open pit complete with the drop stations open and operating by mid-August. The liner contract is quite more complex. It is estimated to cost between $3 and $3.6 million to complete this construction phase. Bids will close June 1st, and hopefully this will be completed by January 16th, 2023. And once that bid is awarded, there should be some bids for subcontractors. And again, I hope someone in our Glen Rock area picks up some of those bids. We discussed possible use for the current and future mulch created. Our thoughts are to be able to get into some composting projects using this material. There is an opening on the board if you know anyone interested in applying. This is a very interesting board to work on. I've learned so much about solid waste disposal. Garbage is not just simply garbage. The board meets in the library the 3rd Thursday of every month. Dinosaur Museum. Had a busy week. Dr. Scott Persons, a paleontologist from the University of Charleston, South Carolina, and who was first introduced to the world of dinosaurs on a family visit to the museum here in Glen Rock when he was 12, is conducting a summer work study examining bones from the local shale formation. This program will start around June 1st and continue through the summer. 12 students from the University of Charleston will be among the participants. Professor Brad Thompson will also be working with this program. Some interesting facts about the dinosaur bone exploration here in Glen Rock. This is a perfect area for field study school, especially when looking at the world of dinosaurs, not just bones. This area has some unique features in the dinosaur study world, including a track site where there is a series of footprints, not just a single print here and there. This is only one of 2 known track sites in the world. Multiple new excavation sites have been identified, including a possible triceratop and a duckbill. A leaf fossil site has been located, which is important in studying the food supply system for the dinosaurs. All of these sites are within easy walking distance of each other, which makes Glen Rock a spectacular natural classroom. A new dinosaur that has been named Harold is completely new to the dinosaur study world. Harold has been accepted in the Journal of iScience. I'm not sure what that is. His introduction to the dinosaur world will be covered internationally, is probably why a dinosaur documentary being created for the BBS will include some filming from the museum here in Glen Rock. According to Dr. Persons, the museum here in Glen Rock has all the raw material for a world-class dinosaur museum. Millions of dollars of fossils are housed here in Glen Rock. The fossils need to be housed in a dedicated collection facility or find new homes for them. Closing thoughts. Are you ready, Jared? It's always good to see the high school graduates featured downtown, a proud time for students and families. And this is a note about the post office parking lot complaints. There is the address to file complaints with, please note the subject information. And if you are interested in objecting to how it is to get in and out of the post office, send them a little note and maybe we'll get some action on it. And that's it. Thank you.
Clerk, Tammy.
The only thing I have is that the applications for nomination, the election applications for nomination are due to me no later than the 27th. That's all I have.
Okay. Lyle, Building Inspector.
Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. Permits are ongoing. That seems to be going pretty good. Inspections. The big broom that occurred last week was pretty successful. A lot of people that we hoped would clean up had cleaned up, so that's a good thing. High school volunteers this week, Thursday. We got 10 homes on the list we'll be going to, and they're doing the fire hall, bike path, and the rock in the glen, so that'll be pretty interesting to see how that goes. And that's all I got.
Lyle, do you think there is a need to have a fall big broom?
I've heard people mention it, so it might be interesting to see where that goes.
Maybe clean up the slash our.
That might help, so yeah, have to keep our
So
ear open. And
we might want to think about that and maybe do one in the fall, towards the late fall.
yeah, I've heard that mentioned before, so we'll see how it goes.
Randy, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Crew's been busy reading meters, street sweeping, garbage collection, working in the parks, meter upgrades, trying to finish the ball field because I guess they have a tournament on June 10th out there, so we're trying to get the fence put up for them. And April, Travis and Corey completed the pool certification, and we had the state inspection today on the splash pad, and everything went well, and we passed the flying colors. So other than that, that's about all I got.
We can fire it up.
Yep.
Randy, did you have some questions about needing more money for doing an overlay
We're
project?
going to do that on
budget?
I thought we were going to do it on the ordinance.
Well, when we
Tonight, yeah.
Okay.
bring up the budget, we can do it then. Any other questions for Randy? Andy, Community Development.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
It's,
Malfunction. All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just got back from the Main Street Convention, the Main Street Now Convention that was in Virginia. I learned lots, so I would love for each of you to come by my office and I'll go in great detail about kind of the classes that I attended. But we did tour Wyoming. Actually had about 41 of us there in the group. And so we started on Friday and Saturday, and we toured Hopewell, Farmville, and Blackwell. And there are 3 different communities that, varied in population, but we got to tour their towns. A lot of them have done the trails, the bike paths, preservation of historical buildings, and so there was a lot of education that went on. Also economic development. So they had a lot of great ideas how to do economic development. A lot of them have reached out to do like startup businesses and stuff, and different ways to do that. And then on Monday we started the convention in Richmond, and that was 3 days of class from like 8 to 6. And you just basically could choose either, what kind of classes you wanted to go to. I focused a lot on grant writing. Got a lot of great ideas for grants that, like I said, if you guys would like to stop by, I'd love to share some new ideas with you guys. And then also did a lot of historical preservation and economic development classes. So I have lots to share with you guys on that, so I'm super excited. We got our Main Street application in today. Oh, also on conference, I wanted to let you guys know that Laramie won the award for Main Street, one of the best Main Streets this year. So it's exciting. So Rollins won 6 years ago. Laramie won this last year. So Glen Rock better get busy. We have 3 years to get our application in and be an aspiring community. So we have goals.
Mandy, of the projects that you saw down there, was there any one that really you thought was exciting that you might like to bring back to Glen Rock?
Yes. Well, the art murals, which we have some. but really reaching out to the artists to add some more art to us, and pocket parks. But also, I think we've done a great job on our bike paths. That was another huge thing. But yes, I would like to bring pop-up shops for economic development for our community. So that is one thing that I thought was really interesting. They had some unique ways and approaches to go about that, to start helping economic development here.
What is a pop-up shop?
So it's where you help a business get started, and you can do, reach out for applicants. We can do a little contest to find businesses that we think would succeed here in Glen Rock, and then you help them out for like 30 to 90 days in a pop-up shop, and you hope that they outgrow that within your 90 days, and then you move them into a permanent location. So, yes, there was some USDA grants that can help us with that. And then let's go to grand opening. We are getting super close. Tomorrow you guys will see another big outreach. I found an app today to help with volunteers. So we're going to need lots of volunteers to help us with different activities around the square during grand opening. So we'll have opportunities to volunteer Friday 5 to 10 and Saturday 10 to 10. So looking for people that are interested in doing a 3-hour shift. Also, we have a few more spots for vendors. If anybody knows of somebody that would love to come join us for the grand opening celebration, I'd love to hear from them.
Are they charged for those spots?
So yes, it's $10 for a 10 by 10 square. If you would like a tent provided for you, it would be $15, and if you need electricity, it's $25, and that's for both days.
What are some of the duties you need for the volunteers?
So we need a couple volunteers for the MS Walk. We are going to hopefully reach out to the school to see if maybe the football team wants to help too with that. But just making sure that people are on the bike path and able to get to and from the different locations, which will be they can walk down to the town park and turn around, or they can walk out to the high school and back. And then we also need 2 people at each location to make sure the beer does not leave our square area. We also need beer pourers, and then we also need we got the concession stand covered. The Babe Ruth is going to cover the concession stand. Oh, and then we just need security like down by the stage and stuff. So we'd love to see everybody.
Anything else from Andy? If not, we'll move on to Chief of Police, Colder.
Evening, Mayor and Council. We've been busy the last couple of weeks helping with a number of different events. We were participated in the Game and Fish Kids event. We were only able to have one officer out there full time, of course, due to staffing, but he had a blast. Kids seem to really enjoy that again this year, so hopefully that's something we'll continue going forward. I also was able to participate in the Wyoming Reads event with all the local first graders. We were able to go down and read a book to them. That was quite a good time. McGruff the crime dog was able to make an appearance. So we appreciate the volunteer that helped me out with that. Also, last Friday, completed some ALICE training with the school staff at the intermediate school as well as the elementary school. And then in the afternoon, I was over at the Peace Officers Memorial in Douglas, which went very well as well.
Colter, is there any possibility that something could be worked out for some kind of fall event for kids, 7th, 8th, 9th grade? Hunting is really big in our area, and it might be nice if we could incorporate something that might reflect hunting safety, hunting practices.
So the local game warden, Warden Bish, is actually now, he's offering a hunter's education course at least once a year. I think he's looking to expand on that. The school district has actually also recently gotten one of their teachers certified as an instructor as well, and they're making it part of their school curriculum. I believe that's the 4th or 5th grade.
And Game Warden Fish is also going to be at the square on the 3rd and 4th with events.
But as far as the fall goes, we could definitely talk to them about expanding their
It might be fun
Activities.
to teach kids how to set up an outdoor camp, how to handle a campfire safely.
Absolutely. So actually, ironically, I was in the school, forget the date, last week or the week before when they were teaching that outdoor education class in school, and they were talking about, they taught them how to set up tents, how to properly start or set up for campfires, things like that, as much as you can indoors, of course. But I believe that they do plan to continue with that and have, more things in that area for those kids. Of course, again, that's I believe it was the 4th or the 5th grade class, but I can't remember exact. So as far as bringing it up to the older kids, I think Warden Bish is interested in doing that, and certainly the way that the event has gone the last 2 years, I've talked to him about trying to maybe do that for an additional day and open that up to the public, but like everyone else, I think it's base staffing.
Jared, IT.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and Council. We've just been working really hard on the fiber project. The company T7 out of Colorado was in splicing fiber and getting all of our stuff done. Actually, he's in the back right now splicing, finishing up our panel here at Town Hall. They'll be hopefully finishing it up either today or tomorrow morning early and then testing all of that. And provided there's nothing they need to fix, they'll be done with all the fiber and we'll be ready to start lighting up some of those links. I have switches already staged at the Town Hall, Town Square buildings, and then onto Public Works. We'll get one installed there, and then the Fire Hall. So that's been a big project that's almost completed. That'll be really good. We have had a slight delay on the LED video wall install. That was supposed to have been done last Thursday, and I think I've mentioned that a couple times in council meetings, but wanted to update you guys that that's been pushed to the 2nd. So that would be the Thursday right before grand opening. They've assured me that it is a one-day project, and it wouldn't take them any longer than that, but fingers crossed, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. They're waiting on some parts to be able to mount this screen to the wall. I did express to them that was a little disappointing since we've had it on order for almost a year at this point, that they're just finding struggles on getting parts now, but there's not much we can do. So that's getting wrapped up and finished, and then we'll be on to mounting cameras and doing some stuff out at the Town Square and getting things rocking and rolling out there.
Any questions for Jared? If not, we'll move on to items from the floor. Is there any items from the floor this evening?
Good evening, everybody, Mayor and Council and everybody else. 2 weeks ago, we had a poker run, and the Abate had the poker run. They raised $3,700 for Head Start. They're having another poker run on June 11th. It's going to start in Lusk this time and come back this way across the state. And they're doing it for Jamie Foxx. Do you guys remember her? She had the stroke, and then they sent her to, she lives here in Glen Rock. They sent her to Salt Lake. She's got a couple little kids, so we're going to do a poker run for her. But we've raised $3,700 for the Head Start program. So, and thank you, because you guys made sure that we got in and out. Great. Our police department's fabulous. I can't say enough good things about them. So, but just wanted to let you know. Thank you.
Any other items from the floor? If not, we'll move on to new business. First order of new business is the open container permit for the 4 Aces for Deer Creek Days. Does anybody have any questions for Chelsea?
What's boom or bust?
It's a food truck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hearing no questions on the open container permit, I would ask for a, or do you want me to bring the other one up and vote on both of them at one time?
Yeah, that's fine.
The other one is a 24-hour malt beverage catering permit for the 4 Aces. to be held in, I believe, in your parking lot. Is that where everything's going to happen, Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for that?
What are you going to be catering?
I'm not catering anything. We're just gonna have a food truck out.
You
in
have a
the
food
parking
truck,
lot.
just one?
Yep.
If they move their
They actually reached out to me, so I told them they could be out there.
if they move their serving facility outside, they have to have the catering permit
To do that?
to have their bar out there. So
How late? What are the times? Am I not seeing it on here? Or?
it looks like the open container is on the 24th at 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then noon to 2 a.m. on
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, Friday and Saturday. I think on Saturday you're not supposed to open anything up until like 1 o'clock until the parade's over. If the parade's over by noon, then you can.
I
As
just
soon as the
put-
parade's over, then we allow.
I just put noon so we could start setting up, but we'll be
Sure.
in the parade also, so.
Sure, but that's usually what happens there, just so everybody knows. Any other questions for Chelsea? If not, I'll ask for a motion for the open container and catering permit.
I move we approve the open container permit and the catering permit for the 4 Aces.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. I was wondering if I could bring up one thing real quick.
Sure.
I should have came up here during new business. I went to a council meeting in Casper not that long ago, and they had a youth council through the high school. I was just wondering if that's something we could think about, bring up to the school here in Glenrock. I think that would be a great thing for our kids.
See if there's any interest. I was kind of sad to see that there was no interest from any of our local junior girls for Girl State this year, and I don't know if there's anything that happened yet for the Boy State at all either. So from our junior class, we'd really like to see some interest in both of those. You learn quite a bit about local and state government and how things run. So
I went to Girl State in high school, so.
yeah.
I just wanted to add that our auction at the 4 Aces was awesome, and it would not have been as good a turnout if it hadn't been for her. And so I just wanted to say thank you publicly.
Thank you.
Thank
Shannon.
you.
This is one of my girls that's interested in doing a youth council, so I brought her with me so she could see a meeting.
Yeah.
Got an empty seat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, if there's anything I can do on my
Applications are
part,
due by Thursday, so.
if there's anything I can do on my part, my kid's getting ready to go into the high school, so I thought it'd be something cool to get going.
Yeah,
So, thank you.
you bet, thank you. I believe next order of new business is ordinance number 734, an ordinance appropriating money for the town of Glen Rock, Converse County, Wyoming for the purpose necessary to conduct the municipal government for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023. This is the second reading?
Yeah.
So is there a motion?
I move we approve ordinance number 734.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there a discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, concerning the grant to the community service block grant, I would recommend that at this time that money be held like an escrow or something, as that organization is having some rather serious accountability problems that probably need to be addressed before the money is released.
That's simple enough. That's all released by some paperwork and stuff by our treasurer, and we can have that held until we feel that everything down there has been satisfactorily answered. So that's
Thank
all we
you.
can do. The other thing under this would be, there was an ask by Public Works to add another $100,000 to overlays. Part of it's due for, we've got parking lot at Public Works is in really bad shape. It's been cut in about 4 places, and we need to get it sealed back up, and the cost of overlay for asphalt oil is more than tripled from last year, so the cost of our asphalt for our overlays has taken a pretty big hit compared to last year.
And the quote I got from Mandarin Hunt on this was $94,450, and that's including a large valley gutter to get the water away from the buildings too. So we've been having problems with one of our buildings getting a lot of water in it when we get rain.
So if we approve this, does this take our money that we have left over down to 22,000 again?
Pretty close, yes.
Yikes.
So,
Is there any way that you can cut any other expenses in your apartment, Randy, to at least accommodate half of this?
Now you can dig through and look.
At least half of it from what you have in your current budget, and come back and on the third reading, maybe address this again?
Yeah, we got money in there now for overlays on Oregon trails out there on a lot of those that we're about ready to lose those streets, and I got a quote on that, and that was $463,000.
and we hope that that's all it takes,
Yeah.
because if as bad a shape as part of those are, we could have to do some road-based work before we put anything down, because they're in really sad shape. When we do that, road mill that down, we could run into some real problems, so we're keeping our fingers crossed in the cost of that money. We may not get as much done as we're hoping to.
Check and see what you've got.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next order of business is bills and claims, I believe. Is there a motion to pay our bills?
I move we pay our bills.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Is that our last SBAR's payment?
It's close. We'll see some other ones from them. I think we're doing the walkthrough this Friday for the buildings and stuff.
walkthrough. Yep.
The building walkthrough for release of the buildings for major completion, and a punch list at that time. So hopefully we're really close there. We got some more that'll come from Boys and Girls Club, and there'll be some overrun on Boys and Girls Club that we'll have to pay out, but then that'll be back billed. It's stuff for Boys and Girls Club that they want done, so we'll have to pay. It has to be billed through Caspar, and then we back bill it to the Boys and Girls Club, and they pay us back. There's somewhere around 110 or so or better.
Gym floor and a few other items.
Some other items that they have going on. So, but they're the ones that made those one of those done, and that they would pay for them. So, but other than that, we're coming down to the wire. We got a few things that we're wrestling with between the state and fire marshal, electrical safety, a couple things there, and hopefully everything else goes fairly well in the walkthrough. So
You got the big tree in. It looks great.
they're getting the tree set.
I was expecting a bigger tree than what we got, but
Trees are expensive.
yeah. Paving behind the Lincoln Building in that alley is first lift was done today. They're going to do the second lift tomorrow, so
And
that'll be completed then.
Yeah. Any other questions for bills and claims? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Is there anything else that needs to come before the council meeting this evening before we ask for a motion to adjourn?
Would it be all right if I come down, Randy, and take a peek at your parking lot?
Which one?
Well, the one you guys want to redo?
Sure.
Okay,
Give me a holler. I'll be happy to walk you through it and everything.
okay,
We got a lot of alligator, a lot of stuff blowing out, so.
okay. So why does that leak? Was that because it was not done correctly and it was,
It's the lean-to we put up, and we couldn't raise it any higher, and all the water's running in there on our attachments for our skid steer and our Mini X. And the add-on in one big shop, the rain gutter, the downspout was put in the wrong spot. We're talking about moving that, so,
a little building that's kind of,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. If there's nothing else to come before the meeting, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn. There's a second.
One second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
They have one at your They have one at your plant tonight. I gotta get home.
You're a hockey fan, huh?
Oh, I love them. Yeah, they look
Also on June, we're doing our, we're going to meet with the Wyoming Nation Board to present our application, but they also want to do
Do we need to sign anything?
Kelly wasn't here, so she'll probably bring it to us probably next time to sign that one, but all done.
Okay.
We should be good.
What do you mean by cleanup?
So you guys know.
Last year, we gotta do it again?